should we try to cover anything else? I thought maybe it might be worth just kind of talking about the instrument screen for a minute, because it's not obvious what these things do. Obviously, for each synth, when you're dealing with the synth, you've got 16 waveframes starting from the 0 and ending on F for each synth. Speed is the number of ticks that each frame spends, or each frame lasts, I guess. So if you have 16 frames, each lasting 1 tick, then this note will finish playing after 16 ticks, which is like, so there's 6 ticks here, 6 ticks here, that's 12, and then it'll end somewhere in the middle of this note, because you've got 4 ticks, so it'll end 2/3 of the way through this step.
Okay, wait, so the speed is the number of ticks for each frame of the waveform? Each of the 16 things?
Right. And you can change that number with this length parameter. So length right now is set to F, which is, F is 15, but it's like including frame 0, so that means 16. So if you only want it to last 12 ticks, then you can set it to B. Is that right? Wait. Yeah. That's a little confusing maybe, but is it right? Or am I crazy? It should be B, I guess. Because then you have C, D, E, and F. So I don't know how I'm going to test it other than just... yeah. You can hear it's like, off,
Yeah.
So the slightly confusing thing about length is that it doesn't just mean play frame 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, etc. up through B. It actually plays all of the frames 0 through F. Like, it starts at 0 and it ends at F, and it cuts out like 4 of them in the middle at equal places. So it'll play like, I don't know, 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever.
So it'll always end on F.
Yes.
That's wild.
So, if I set this to... So once we'll play, 0 through F in this number of frames once and stop. Right. Loop, will play frames 0 through F in this number of frames, and it will loop back to wherever this frame is. So like if you wanted to loop to the beginning, you can set it at 0. I don't remember if this was changed in I don't remember when this version, like, it used to be how many to repeat. It was like repeat instead of loop position. I don't know. And then it was like repeat 8 frames or whatever. But this one will actually set. Yeah. Like this with the loop position.
Yeah, like I think for all of 8, it's been like that, and maybe bits of 7.
Yeah, I feel it probably has been for a little while, but just know that like basically this is inverted in the older versions. So like if you use an older version and it says, repeat, you want to set the repeat all the way at the end to like the highest number, because you want to repeat the most number of frames or whatever. And if you don't want it to repeat, then set it to 0. But at any rate, not to get too far off into another topic. And so anyways, this will just keep looping it front to back, or somewhere in the middle. So, but it's always playing forward to reverse, and then ping pong will, when it gets to the end, it'll play them in backwards order until it hits the loop position. Then it'll play them in forwards order, etc., and go back and forth between the end and the loop. So, oops. If we go back to loop position 0, and then if you set this somewhere in the middle. So when you use a W command here, wave, speed, and length. And I always have to use this little help tip thing. 0 is no change. So this will just play it normally. And then, speed 1 with length of normal means it's going to play this. Well, I think we're already at speed 1. So it's not going to, this is also going to be no change. And then setting this to speed 2 means each of these is going to last twice as long because they're all going to last for 2 ticks instead of 1 tick. And then if you want to make this super fast, setting the length to 1 means it only is going to play 0. It's going to play frame 0 and it's going to play frame F, I think. So that's why when you have 1, 1, it's just toggling really quickly between frame 0 and frame F on every tick. It's not like perfect because there's that like silky wave thing in there that's kind of like, it doesn't quite have the most precise timing, but I think it's better when you use a higher note. So